Hi, everyone. Welcome to yet another King Talks episode, potentially the very last one. Whether you're joining us on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, please feel free to leave us a big thumbs up and leave any comments or questions because we would love to engage with you further. And if you believe this is a marketing idea worth spreading, do share it with your network. Our guest today is Marole Matabata. Marole is the social media marketer at 1/1. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree with honors, majoring in urban and regional planning and local economic development, as well as an MBA from the University of Witwatersrand. He holds a number of certifications, including but not limited to advertising on Pinterest, advertising on Facebook, and advertising on LinkedIn, all of these from LinkedIn Learning. He's also successfully completed the Google Ads Search and Google Display Ads certifications. In a nutshell, Marole's work involves deriving digital marketing strategies around brand equity, brand communication, brand resonance, and also purchase intentions. Without any further ado, Marole, please take over.
Hi, how are you? Yes. So that's quite an interesting introduction, and it's always weird when you hear these introductions being done. I'm happy to be here. Afternoon, everyone. So over the years have specialized in broader digital marketing and went deep into specialization on paid digital media. And so happy to have a chat on LinkedIn advertising or any other sort of platform. But understand today we are going to be having fun around LinkedIn advertising. Yeah, so perhaps just to give some sort of context, to say that, I mean, the one question that often gets asked is which platform is the best when it comes to paid media advertising, and there are several answers that you would find that people would give, but I often say that the best one becomes the fact that it depends, and it depends on the kind of campaign that you're running, and perhaps for the context of this conversation, for example, if you are doing sort of a B2B advertising on digital marketing, then you are better off, with the adoption of LinkedIn. I mean, the platform has just close to 9 billion users, and there's this thing around saying on LinkedIn, when a person says they are something, they definitely are something. So you seldom find nicknames that people use, and their jobs and the expertise that they have, and there are ways. I mean, if you say that you are Google certified, for example, Google has a way of use. Before you can have that on your LinkedIn, you need a reference, then so they know that you've really communicated that. So it's that kind of quality audience that you're able to get from LinkedIn that I think has just made the platform to be very quite interesting. So when LinkedIn was first sort of almost founded, I mean, it was founded by someone that I personally would really, really admire and look up to, both from an understanding of product and marketing, which is Reid Hoffman, who was part of the so-called PayPal mafia. So together with your Elon Musk, as well as Peter Thiel, he was on the Peter Thiel side when Musk's company merged with Peter's company to form PayPal. So he understood that. So before the acquisition by Microsoft, so I think you would have seen that they began off wanting to build just another social network, and then later on it picked up because salespeople were able to be able to get those kind of sort of quality leads, and it was no surprise when a few years back Microsoft decided that they wanted to acquire LinkedIn, and just to spend a bit of time there, their acquisition was informed based on the quality of the audience that you are able to find, and Microsoft being sort of an enterprise B2B type of product saw an opportunity for that acquisition. So it's for me the number one platform when it comes to B2B sort of ads type of campaigns, because even the segmentation coming in through career-wise. So you know that 99% of the time, if someone says that they are in the financial industry, then they definitely are in the financial industry. So that's the core of it. So I mean, with the cons that obviously often get mentioned from a LinkedIn perspective is the fact that you because of the quality of the audience, and I mean we can delve deeper into conversions quality and the sort of metrics that you're looking for. So if you are really looking at a customer acquisition and customer lifetime value perspective, then LinkedIn becomes that platform where you know that you're going to get a customer that's going to be able to spend a lot of time, especially from a B2B type of area in your business. And then the other thing is that made for those reasons, I guess, LinkedIn looked at it and say, we can have a global lead of around close to $50 or so, and I think my experience of it is that often even the cost per leads from especially from a US type of perspective, or Western US, UK, and the rest of the sort of Western Europe countries, it tends to be very high expensive. And in South Africa, you are able to play around, on that mark of 100 to 150, per lead that you get, and then so when we are looking at the fact that this is a person who probably has got a decision-making capability, sitting, at an average of around over $1 million. So that kind of conversion or lead number wouldn't be, of much of a worry. So the other thing that I sort of often say and like about LinkedIn advertising is also even on the basis of decision making, right? So you are able to segment your audience according to the career levels that they do. So am I looking for people in the C-suite? Am I looking for vice president? Am I looking for supervisors? Am I looking for kind of managers that are coming through? So that would sort of be able to work for you, because that's where you are able to get that person that for sure that will be sort of taking that decision. So it's the the quality of the lead, it's the customer lifetime value of an individual, it's the decision making capabilities that I feel that are very important.
Awesome. Marily, we've got a question here from Jake. He wants to know, what is the best frequency to be releasing a singular campaign on your company's page?
Yes, so I would assume that it depends on whether if you are going to be having a frequency. So on organic, obviously it will depend on how many followers or so that you're seeing. But let's focus on the paid side of things. So what you want generally on paid media is that you do not want people to be seeing your advert. I often said it on every sort of 3 or 4 days, so type of frequencies, so that you don't have what certain audiences would see as sort of clutter, sort of almost getting sort of audience fatigue and of a certain type of art. So I often play around with a 3 to 4 type of days. And then the other thing that I wanted to speak about that I really like when it comes to LinkedIn is the type of ads that one comes through. So you can interrupt me, or you can or you can bring audience questions as we go through. It's the fact that how it comes through, especially the type of ads that are coming through there. So over the years, we've seen. I mean, everyone who's in paid can agree that perhaps a debate. But personally, I just think that yes, Google has got the sort of almost the best campaign manager type of for running ads, and then Facebook comes through that. So for a long time, LinkedIn and Twitter are still rated like that. So for a long time, LinkedIn was also in there where you were seeing that there's that sort of struggle in terms of, the campaign manager tool was not one of the best. And over the years, I think, it's a thing of they sort of almost were able to get the way in which Facebook is also able to do what they are doing. And so they were able to almost master it in that. And so what I like is the type of ads that you can get, especially the sort of lead forms. So the thing about lead forms is that you are able to almost, especially how I prefer to run it, is to say, when you're going to create a lead form, make sure that it does not require a whole lot of information, wherein a person can end up, not being interested in that, or they can end up being dropping out. So things like a name and maybe the company that one is from, the seniority level, as well as the contact details, and then your internal or whatever CRM type of tool that you're using. Those people can be able to take it from there, and then it will enable them to have really use that to be great. So it's that as sort of a lead form, and then also the fact that even then you are able to see the kind of audiences that or the size of the audience that one as an individual you would be targeting. The With the introduction of the different campaign manager type of platforms, of enabling one to sort of almost have a lifetime budget, that because being well optimized. I like that. So the fact that LinkedIn also has those kind of things. Yeah.
Cool. I just want to make sure, Jake, that we answered your question. Let us know. I don't see any more questions coming through from the audience. So I would like to know, like, you talk a lot about B2B marketing for LinkedIn. Would you say that like there's absolutely no space for B2C brands within the LinkedIn community? Like, is it a bad idea if you are in the B2C space to be running LinkedIn ads?
I'd say that it's not to say that 100% LinkedIn is specifically for B2B, that there is that space, but it also would sort of almost depend. So are you running a luxury B2C type of brand, or are you trying to get your sort of high end of the market, of the market type of people, the C-suite individuals? For example, I mean, I worked on a luxury travel experience sort of company, and LinkedIn was that, and in the end it was from a B2C perspective. So that also showed that there is that space. So it's just also about the the level of the income level, and also, so when you're looking from a perspective of LSM 9, LSM 10, then that would work, and also depending on the product, that would also have that kind of clarity to be able to get into that.
Cool. We've got
Yeah.
one question here from Sibusisa. He wants to know, like, we've seen, like, when he's trying to run LinkedIn campaigns, like, they use the term ad auction, and he's no idea what that means. Could you please clarify that?
Yeah. So, perhaps to give a bit of a context on the whole thing about auctions and bidding type of level. So when Google was founded, right, the auction system was the gold that Google found, and it found for the rest of the ad industry. So when they think of it as if you ran a website and in a newspaper. So if you approach a newspaper, you would say to them that they would say to you that we only have 16 pages and then we charge you, let's say hypothetically 50K. And then of that 16 pages, then it would mean that their revenues can only be maximized to 800,000 if they only have 16 pages that they can advertise. So when Google started selling ads, a clever salesperson said to them that how about we don't say that we're charging someone $50 per click. How about we say we're charging anyone at the highest bidder of a certain weight. So on Google there's that thing of how much is a certain weight rated. So you go and you say to them, I'm willing to pay $7 for the term insurance, and then anyone, and then you would be the one who ranks first. And so the industry, the paid digital marketing space adopted the auction system. So how it works is that there's no set amount for all of us. And if, Tamara is running an ad to want to reach a certain CEO, and Marol is also running that ad, right? So it means that we are running an auction system. So it's a thing of who is willing to pay higher to reach that individual, and then whoever is willing to pay higher gets to pay them, right? So that's why there are different type of things that you would have. So you would have, you would either want to go the auction route, or you would either want to have a certain bidding. And so if you either would have an automatic thing of saying, okay, LinkedIn, decide how you want to spend the 10,000 that I've given you, or you would say that you want to use a bidding system. So the bidding system, that is you saying, I'm only willing to spend 150 per lead that I get. So if it's going to cost me anything more than that, please do not give me type of lead. So the ad auction option is exactly for that. So the digital marketing generally runs on an auction basis for us to reach all the people. So we all basically, fighting for being the first one to be viewed based on, whoever would be having the highest amount. And then, but you decide whether you want an automatic kind of auction or you want to bid a type of auction. So that is where it comes back to your question around, LinkedIn either being a good B2B type of platform or not, because what that enables you and what that tells you is to say that, are you willing to be coming to compete with, people who would have good, high sort of LinkedIn budgets, or would perhaps a platform like Google from a B2C perspective be best for you, or would a Facebook be best for you, or even type of Twitter? So it's those type of decisions that you'd be able to make.
Cool. Just one quick follow-up question around that. So you mentioned that you can choose to, okay, let's see. I'm not sure if it's got the same question. Does the ad auction model make it cost effective or cheaper to advertise, or is it the other one? So yeah, so I was about to ask the same question exactly. So would you suggest that people choose the ad auction model, or they go with just one fixed amount and say, hey, spend it how you'd like?
Yeah. So I often go for the automatic sort of auction model to say that I don't often set an amount, but that can also be because you'd find that I'm working on big budgets, So if you really working on very small budgets, you better off, sort of setting that your bidding to be lower. And then if you're working on higher budgets, then it's about optimizing, because and also the other thing is about your sort of what metrics are you measuring. So if you are looking at customer lifetime value, so you know that if I convert this person for a certain high amount, but they're going to stay within my value chain longer. Therefore, they're a high revenue type of client. Therefore, I don't need to be worried much about the acquisition cost. But if you have a low budget, then obviously those are the things that worry you. So yeah, so going back to Google, right? So how that decision, how the ads platform arrived at that decision, and how it sort of worked for it works for the advertising platform owners. Because if you actually think of it, like I said, it doesn't give them the limit on the amount of space that you can sell. When you have an auction system, you basically have an unlimited amount of ad spaces, as opposed to in a newspaper, where you would have decided that I don't want to bore my readers with ads, therefore I will only sell them to a certain kind of cap, and then there's no auction system. So if you asking specifically about the advantages of the auction system, yes, it's an advantage, but from a business owner perspective. And then for us, you are better off with automated if you've got a big budget, because then LinkedIn would know where and who to serve it. And then if you've got a smaller budget, then you are better off with it at a lower rate, at a set rate. Yes.
I hope that also answers your question, Smusisa. It certainly answered it for me. I have one more question for you, Marol, if you don't mind. So, let's say someone is just starting out with LinkedIn advertising and they have absolutely no idea where to start in order to ensure that their campaigns will be successful. Would you have any sort of tips for them?
Yeah, so I'd say the first thing is obviously to try and acquaint yourself with the resources that would be available. So the LinkedIn learning what's it called, the LinkedIn ads certification is good. So that would be almost a sort of start, or any YouTube video where it would come from a LinkedIn ads specialist. So that, and then when you come onto the platform, I would say that the first thing to sort of almost play around with when you're just testing and learning would be run reach-based sort of ads first, and then sort of get to know that these are the small ads that I'm running, and then this is not costing me much, and then that would help you, and then that's when you can go on to say, can I now start trying the traffic ads? Can I now start trying the engagements type of ads? Can I now move on to ultimately they're more expensive sort of leads oriented type of ads? So I would run it in terms of that, to say, when you're comfortable, you're better off making a budget mistake when you've got a small budget that you ran, and also when you are looking at a sort of a lower cost type of metric, and then move high up within the different type of metrics.
Cool.
Yeah.
Says thank you so much. And he says that he hopes that LinkedIn will think about small businesses in the future. Do you think that's ever going to happen?
Yeah, it will definitely happen. I mean, when let's think of it, when most of this sort of American products, when they come, is because they have the American centric type of thinking, and then you just need to, when you get context and understanding of this is what is happening in a developing markets and underdeveloped markets, then that's when there's that. But I think it's, for now, if it becomes a space of interest, and you're better off really just going the organic route, and then later on, when you really have a budget or the business has grown on to be bigger, then you go to that. So but we've seen how these products come here, and they think of Facebook. When they started, it was very hard for just any other individual to get in, and now it's almost it's much easier to run ads on Facebook.
Definitely, I can attest to that. I think we should leave it at that. I don't see any more questions coming through. Thank you to everyone that joined in and asked the questions. I truly appreciate it. And Marole, I'm sure he does as well. Marole, just to wrap things up, is there anything else that you'd like to add on about LinkedIn advertising?
Yeah, so I think from my side is just to say that LinkedIn advertising, it goes hand in hand with whatever you are doing on your organic type of search, and also it's spend a lot of time understanding your client, because then when you have got that understanding of your client and the campaign, it becomes way much easier for you to then be able to run ads. So that's the one thing that I always say, that with good understanding of your audience and having spent enough research on your audience, it makes it even way much easier, and it makes it very good to be running ads. And then also that to say that paid LinkedIn is organic LinkedIn is a good complement of the paid side of things. Therefore, that's good for people to go. So otherwise, anyone can contact me if they really want to have this sort of conversations, and then I'm more than happy to assist.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marole, and I hope everyone will take you up on that. Guys, I will see you not next week. This is actually the final episode of King Talks for a while, or possibly forever. I'm just trying to figure out which one it will be. But thank you so much, guys, for engaging with us. I truly, truly, truly do appreciate it. And I hope that this has been super helpful to you, because that is ideally what we wanted to do with this whole King Talks live sessions. So man, I will see you when I see you.
Cheers.